Which brings me the continuation to this story. What pops me up here beside actually, ladies and gentlemen, children, boys and girls, apparently I have to do up the tie. It says in my YouTube there could be 13-year-old people watching me. Now what do I have to do? Am I actually acting correct? Am I acting better than Bernie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. Who the hell thought a dinosaur was beginning to sing? Purple and yellow. I know why. Because the dinosaur is purple from the purple sky of the purple heart. 4 and 12. Things of 4 and 12. 4 and 12 bring me the light. 16, the 16 balls in pool equals to the square. If you had to reconnect that square and pull, right, you get 4 balls, you get 3 balls, you get 2, and you get 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first half of the triangle in the pull took 10 balls. But the last half of the triangle, okay, did not take 10 balls. It only took 5 balls. Because it was only, it only took 6 balls. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. And then it's 3, 2, 1. So it's 10 and 6, missing 4. 10, 4, the communication is between 10 and 6. I want to speak to you. Are you kids old enough to listen? Once I caught a fish alive. I did a story on that fish alive in here somewhere. I know, because in Hebrew they say, Aleph, Beit, Gimel. I caught the bait, I caught the 8, missed the H, missed the heaven. Didn't get into I took them in. All in air, and air is find so divine in the world of O. A and E, between 1 and 5, the world stands for O. O and R is gold, her world, a delta angle, 4 and 3. The 12 is the L letter. The D is the 4th letter, LD. Day and night, the difference is the 8 ball, the night is 8, the day is double 16. God rests on what day? He rests on the 7th day, number 65. 7. 7, 11, 6 and 5 equals 11 on the 7th day. But in God's world, 6 hours is a day. It's 15 minutes. So he rests on the 7th day. So he takes, his day is what? 15 minutes? Is his day 30 minutes? That would be 12 hours. So if his day is 15 minutes, because 6 times 15 in the world is 6 equals to 90, equals to 1 hour and a half times 4. The reverse of 4 and 6 is east and west 10. 4 and 6, 2 sides. You have to have the pit on one side or the other. The center barrier and the pull balls, 10 and 5, 10 balls and 6 balls. 3, 2, 1, 6 balls in the pull game, including the cue ball. And you could probably take the cue ball, right? And where can you put that cue ball? It can't go in the center because the center has 4. There is no middle to all. So it either has to go on one side of 3 or the other side of 3, meaning the space, the open space is to one side or the other. And obviously the space should be closest to our side. So if God's day is 15 minutes, then every single day that goes by, he has a 5-minute break, making it 20 minutes. 15 and 5 is 20. So it was 4 times 15 equals to 60, is now 3 times 15 equals to 45, plus the 5-minute break for God, the 5-minute break for dawn. The difference between day and night is 3 to 1. So we have to take a situation and break it down 3 to 1. 1, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3. So that would be 20. This would be O. This would be E. O and E. O and E. 5, 15. A and E. O and E. 10 is J. This is in the 10 position for J. J and E says je. Because there's 2 5s together, there's a center that is built between them. It becomes 10, 9. Light 10, 9. You're 10. I'm 9. I want you to light the light that enlightens both 5s. But you are the one holder of the candle that will enlighten both of these. 4 and 1, 4 and 1. The way 1 is the center of 4. In 2 worlds of 8, that brings with the 1 world of 9. Day and night. 3 to 1. 3 times 5 to 1 times 5. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. So if God's day is 15 minutes in actuality, okay, to 6 hours, or in 24 hours, multiply this by 4 is 60 minutes. So God breaks actually for 24 days, right? In 24 days, okay, because this is the one day. God's day is 3 parts. He gets 1 part over here, 5-minute break. So he actually rests for 5 minutes. If the day was 15 minutes, if the day was 20 minutes, in the 20 minutes he'd be resting for 5. That 20 minutes, okay, is equal to 120 degrees, 120 degrees, 120 degrees, 6 by 20. 3 times 60, 6 by 20. 6 hours, the 1/4 of the day, minimum 1/4. This is 3/4, this is 1/4. 3/4 and 1/4. So if you count it on an hour, okay, this would be 18 hours. And this would be 3 hours. 21 hours, night and day, the cube. Maybe it's the bear resting. So does God rest on the 7th day? Or does God rest on the 7th day, the 8th day, the 9th day, but he is only awakened to enlighten the candle on the 10th day of the Mayan calendar, the 10-day count. God rests on ABC. He is taken in within man through the system, and he is transferred from ABC to GH and I, the 7th, 8th, and 9th letter, bringing the gateways between the birth and the 2 heavens of 8, 88. The 8, the 9, and the 6 is a bracket and a bracket. It is a 1 and a 0. It is 1 connected to 0, 1 connected to 0, 0 connected to 0, with 1, the difference in between. The difference of G, the difference of B, the difference of D. It's the turtle, the neck, and the back. They carry their own bait and tackle. Using the symbols to understand the difference of their own reality, because that's what they are. And they're located on top of the 9 and the 0 of the keyboard. So how much more do you need more than 9 and 0 when 9 is all? 9 connected to any number. 9 and 8 is 17. 1 and 7 is the top cube. 1 is the one in between all that makes 6 real. Add 1 to 9 equals to 10. The difference is 101. 10, 9. 2 groups of 5 come together in 1. 4 by 9 is 36. It was mentioned inside Nibiru, Single and Awake. It was mentioned that apparently our system runs on 4 of 9 because Earth is the 3rd planet, so the only one bigger than it is the 4th planet, or the furthest away becomes Mars. 4 by 9, 4 plus 9 is 36, and 13 equals 49. 7 by 7, Christ, Mass. 7 by 7 is 49. 3 by 6, 3 plus 6, 18, and 9. 9, 18, 27. All of them create 9s. The only one missing is 5 and 4. 5 and 4 comes from number 5 itself. 5 is the only one that creates it all. You turn 5 twice. When you turn 5 twice, first you have 5 this way, and then you have 5 this way. You have a total of 5 and 4, 9. 5, 90 degrees, 4, 90 degrees, 5, 90 degrees, 4, 90, open space, the open space of I. See the little I? This little empty space here in the 2 eyebrows, and the empty space in the 2 cheeks coming over the frown where the mustache comes in. When you have a hole, you have to have sewn up and ridges. We need to be sewn up. We're built the best they could. How did you want us to look? Flat? No ornamentation? You don't like what you see? Even if they taught your eyes what liking is, what ugly is? You don't know what ugly is. If the system didn't say you should know, you wouldn't know. You could never know, ever, ever. You can never, ever teach yourself ugly unless you said shaboogamoo. Shaboogamoo to me is a word, and I'll probably forget that I even said it, but somebody I know might ask me one day and remind me that shaboogamoo is however you can fit with the other thing and accept it. Even if it doesn't come, because we all don't speak the same language, but we speak the same vibration. We see, and we see, and we feel. God, it's scary. I didn't say he's scary me. I didn't say he's doing scary things. Why is he doing it? I'm saying, oh my God, I'll back off. I don't like that vibration. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Let's get to the point. Now they're all drinking and they're fighting now. Anyways, same thing with 13, 4 and 9. 94 says Uranus. 49 stands for green, and it also stands for EIGHT. One of the only words in numbers that would you have a continuous with TH, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, T and H. The 8th T and H, right, only needs to add on the H. The 8 already has the T on it. So right away, anytime you see a T add-on, TY, just like fleur-de-lis, any of these letters, because I began on something in an earlier thing on L-E-Y-S, like in eyes. L-E is L. It says of the in French. It says of the what? What is the L? What is the E? How do we draw it? What is the numerological value in numbers? Because that's what I'm working. In numbers, it's 12. But that's in the E family. So I'm taking away E and adding E because I'm not really sure what to do. And since I'm using them both, they're going to equal 10. And since I know it's 10 and it's in the E family, I know it's 2. So now I can know that I'm going to divide it by 2 and 8 because 2 and 8 make a 10 family, perfect to 2 sides. I'm going to go 2 and 5 because then I'm going to measure it up the gateway, and I'm going to go 2 and 2, and now I'm going to measure it up against the energy of the AC energy. One energy is pulling, one energy is pulling. Pulling and pulling and pulling and returning in rotation. I don't know how it works because I'm not that. I'm here to put the words and the numbers to where you built them. You told me all these numbers. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, and this is the S. Creates 7. Creates 7. It'll create the S19 after. ABS. Are you able? It's big red. The S. It's starting by 3 and it's ending by 7. Nibiru sun. It's a string that's pulling the Nibiru sun, starting at 3 and ending by 7. Because the way it goes in is when it begins in Mercury and it ends by Pluto. But they changed it. They changed it to Mars and Saturn. They retook everything and put Mars, Saturn, where Mercury and Pluto, where your birth comes in with your bloodline. Okay? They now change it to Mars and Saturn. That is the East-West, EW. It is we, 55. Freedom 55, because W is a 2 and 3 5 in the 5 family. 0 5, which is 6 5. 6 is in the 6 world. Family 5E. 7 is the simple answer from 4 and 9. Drag it out to 7. This one becomes 27 equals to 0, 9. Becomes 13 and 15. Why? 67. See this 27 over here becomes 87. Becomes 15. This is 67, 6 and 7 is 13, and 15 is 28. 13 will recreate this. 15 will now create 5 and 6 over here, which will then create 47 at the end, which will end up being cycle of the moon, and I can connect it in many videos to Einstein's theory of relativity and how Einstein, number 95, Neptune, number 95, 5 and 9 being 2 numbers in numerological FIVE and NINE, both equally to 42, and where 42 will recreate 86 perfectly to a 10-10 world, and the letter T and TZ communication in Zoltic in the letters between 20 and 26, how they connect all the way to YZY. 27, Y being 7 and 2, 9, but YZY, the 27th, would be A again, when actuality 7 and 2 equals 9. 7 and 2 equals 8 in the second semester of the piano. 1 and 8. The first one and the 8th one is both A. The second one and the second one, the 7th one, although is BG, 7 and 2 equals I, if you continue the count inside the piano keys. The 27 And the 18th, this is A piano. And this is B, G piano. It says win a big red dog inside of this one in the house of the circus. So this number says Christmas. This one says green, 6 and 14 and pull. What is 14? 7 and 7 again. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. You had 2 and 3 is 5. Now you have 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14. Because in pull, they're both green. Green stands for number 49. AC Green, who stood 38 years of the church before he finished his championship career, born October 4th, 1963, and fits into the church, into exactly all these numbers. He's like one of the keys. You have to know all the keys. How AC Green fits in with 3 and 8. We had 1 and 8. We had 2 and 7. Now we have 3 and 8. Because reconnecting 3 and 8 is 3, 8, and 1 is the spirit, 39. Connecting the spirit into the sky. So his next move, he connects the spirit into the sky last after his career. Entering the sky from 38, the next year's his 39th year. So they're connected. 38 is connected to 39. You're during the year. Finished last year, you're in this year, heading towards next year. You're numbering the year that you are in. But you're actually in the whole year. Once you jump into a circle, you're inside the whole circle. You just haven't finished the rotation. 6, 8, and 9, we did this world. And not only is this is world Q. Q in all actuality, okay, is in the U family, but because the stick comes from inside, it shows how the stick, okay, in Q comes from either 5 or 8. It doesn't matter if it comes from 5 or 8 because it's in the center. As long as it's in the center of that line, coming out of the center over here, you already know that once you're inside of 9, 9 is automatically inside of 5 once the circle goes around this corner over here. You can also do it on this side over here. So and if you take a look, the Q is almost made like the 2 letter. So the 2 and the Q get the same value now because their tails end up in the same position. Top of the bottom, right? This is 17 minutes. We're going to call it for now. I have a ton in the books. I'm going to get back with you. If you have any questions, what am I going to do to this next? I'm not sure. I'm going to choose one theory and connect that theory. Then I'll create another theory and connect the numbers to that theory. And I can probably do at least, you know, all the numerological counts and change it for Chaldean, just connect number 1s. But I'll start with adding probably added box, bringing it down to 1 number, or adding duplicate numbers like 10, 29 is 39, 29 and 8 is 37, 8 and 31 is 39, 31 and 6 is 37, so it's all 39, 37. 3 and 9 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 7 is 10, you get 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 13, 13, 13, 13 all the way around. If you bring it out all the way, you get 19, 19, 19 all the way around. Artificial intelligence, 1 and 6, 9 and 4. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for your moments and time. If you have anything to add, if you want me to take this to a completely different level, like you saw, I would start off joking and then I'm like all over the place. I got things to paint. I'm painting a chair. I'm painting that chair over there. I'm not sure what to do with it, right? But whatever it is, when it's done, I have to like it. I have to like it. Because if I don't like it, and I like the chair, I might give it more time and keep painting until I'm satisfied. That means I like it. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I am born 3 + 1 day after the beginning of time. Why? Because I'm born in 1963. Time starts at 01. So at 01, time starts. But time must start on the clock at 3. 1 becomes before 2. Automatically 3, leaving 57 seconds left, leaving only the passage for one thing. 57 is the electric. And that is the same number as the moon, the same number as being able, father, it all, because it's A and B. A and B says 2112, so it doesn't start till 2112, which is 3 and 3, which is the numbers to Christ. 57 If you go to 56, it is because 2 became itself doubled. So it doesn't go between 56, and that is 2 moons. Man on the moon. 2 moons, one in between is the eye, as I mentioned in this configuration. Here, it's the configuration over here. The see in between here, it doesn't happen on all of them. See in between here, the X that you see, it's actually the I also. I and X is the same letter. I and X is the same letter. Your nose, the building of your nose, you'll see different design, one side, the other side, and then the nose comes together, the I and X comes together, and then the eyebrows that come above, the lines that are picked up from the bottom of sonar off your face will tell you all these answers precisely. So these are I and I, 18 and 18, I and O and I. You need 2 I's to create the circle in the center. The circle will give it 15. I and I is 18. 18 and 50 is 33. You know what that says? That's ore. That is gold. 18 and 15, 5 by 3, 6 by 3, 5 and 6, 2 moons. Let me see if I can continue where I was talking before. And I can't because I don't remember. But I liked where I was. 5, 4. The 5 number. Here's what you can do. Look at what you can do at 6. With 6, you can make 8. With 5, you can make 9. Between the 45 and the 90-degree angle. 45 and 90 is 135, says ace. Ace is set in both of them. So the 6 makes 8, and the 5 makes 9. So 5 and 6 make 8 and 9, equaling to the high sky of I. 5 creates 9. 5 creates 9, and 6 creates 8. Okay, 6 equals 52, 8 equals 49, 9 equals 42, 5 equals 42. This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm very excited, and at 22, 22, 88, 88, because you got to understand, you got to bring everything up to the highest point from where you began. And don't begin at 10, because 10 is actually 1 in the middle of nothing. And that's how it all began. 1 in the middle of nothing. 1 in the middle of a void. The void began to the left and the right of nothing. He said left and right of me is 2 and 2. He said above and below is 2 and 2. I got 4. I'm on the cross. 2 and 2 to the left and right of nothing, to the right and the left of nothing. We've now got 3 levels. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 on each side. 2, 2, 2. We only have the truth. We have nothing more. They throw these dice, roll them. Craps, games, building materials, what you're sitting on, what we're communicating with right now. Contact. Odds. Billions of dollars a year into the odds of truth. If you can only roll the truth, and you do. That's why they break it down to the reality of its odds. And then you get the payoff that you make the right choice inside the right game. The game we play is all in the mind. But because we don't see it, we play it because we know it inside our own vibration. We need this. We need the cards because they're showing the truth. They're wanting your number, and you know it means something to you. So 5 and 6 is the high sky, and 5 and 6, okay, is 2112 because they create the 7th gate. 5 and 6, where 6 becomes 8, 6 becomes 7, 6 becomes 5, 6 becomes 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight. 4 and 5 come together as 9, 11, and 4, 5, and 6 the Federation, and the gateway is 7 and 8. 6, 7, and 8 is the same thing. If you look at the deck of cards, all it is the center portal. That's all it is a dual sun system inside the 7 and 8. 6 is in 7 and 8. So 6 equals to 6, 6, 6, 18, plus 1 and 2. 18 plus 2, 21. 15 and 21, down or up 3. Equaling to O and R, equaling to the gold, the dual sun systems. Equaling to 52 and 49. Nothing can be on top of each other because then it's the receptor, the in-between. 101, 94 Uranus, 94 Uranus, 84 Pluto, 222 times 8, 1776 times 8. Why? Because of Neptune. 5 and 4 is 9, 5 and 4 is 9, 13. This is the gateway to 6 and 14. These numbers are perfect. They don't lie. 5 and 9 is 14, 95 is Einstein, 95 is Neptune. 9 and 5. Here N and N repeats. Do we know anything about N and N? Let me show you what some of the letters they actually do. Can I do this? How is everybody? You can just put me on hold and let's see if I can. No, this is not going to help. Let me see if I put it in this book over here. Just 1 second. It'd be nice to just be able to look down and see what I'm doing. Here it is. Do you want to see where it is? It's right here. N and N. N and N makes the army stripes. Turns into M and M. It's the army stripes, but color it in. Check out your army stripes, what it really looks like. You put one over the other, N over N over N. 3 times, so you got 3 N's this way. Isn't it rotas sater tenent, T-E-N-T? Or how about magic square, where the 5 comes in the middle or all around the middle? 9 is 9 because 9 and 5 both represent the ace center point in it. 5 and 9 both have the only 2 cards other than 3 and ace, because ace is already inside. The 3 shows you the level, but only 5 and 9 come together is 14. 1 and 4 equals 5. 2 and 3 equals 5. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5 and 6. Number we talk about. See the TV sets? Well, this is R and R back to back, also creating the arrow between 2 R's. Now the question is, should I put 4 R's together? Or how about R is made with a 7 or a V and an O? R-O-V. How about moving over, Rover? Or how about the 8? How about 8D? 8 and D, talking about 80. How about 38? The church from R and R, face to face. 18 and 18, 36 creation in the letters. That's all I did. I took the number 36 from the last page and I just put it face to face. It's my pastry, or a paisley that surrounds the circle, making up the yin and the yang, parting together 2 sides right over here, showing 2 sides over here and over here, sunset and sunrise, so you can't see the difference of the moving suns, sunset and sunrise, the paisleys, the yin and the yang suns. This is pastry. This is paisley, this line of the crossing skies that crosses over the T. You cross over the T when highways meet. Should they ever meet, or should they be side by side? Understanding if there's a dual system. The N's come together like this, the N comes together like this. Here's an N backwards. Here's the same thing. Well, why don't we just move it over and call it the crown? What do we support? We support the egg on the crown. MK, supporting I and I. The balance is inside the M. Here, it's right here. It could be the other way. I might have to put it upside down. You see the scales that I built out of this? Maybe I can put it down this way and put it down this way. I'm not sure which the scales would be. If it was a K, it would mean I would have to turn it this way, right? And that this would be a bookend. If I turn it this way, I stand the M up, and it becomes 13B, and it becomes MK because of where the book line starts, right here. See this over here? This angle says 5. 5 says between 5 and 5, because now whatever this was is now not a V anymore, but a Roman numeral to me. I keep changing its value as I go. But this one over here is actually N and N. This is an N, this is an N. Duh, what are you saying? This is an N, this is an N, that's an N. Yeah. You see this part over here? Right? This part over here? See this over here? See that? See the Z? See the Z? The Z is right over here. ZZ, back and forth. You see that flat part in the feet? Same thing, right over here. Then I kept this over here, and I just made a bubble. And I put a bubble on the top. And I put a bubble in the center. I curled under 2 eyes. That's all I did to that. And this is the man it makes. Bullseye, 2 hockey sticks crossing each other from eye to eye. Where does that hockey stick meet? When the player is bent over. When this player is bent over on the ice, where are those hockey sticks? Is this what the character looks like? Are there any animals that look like this? And the second thing is, when you x-ray them, do they actually look like this when they're bending down ready to play? Do not forget that every movement on our planet has happened somewhere, sometime. Somebody saw it, because if nobody ever did, then it's a secret, or you didn't share it. Is it only a vibration? Because when a vibration is turned one over the other, that's where I got this idea. 3-3-I, where I got the idea over here. Alpha Omega. Why is it Alpha Omega? I'm going to show you. Here's the T right over here. Right? At the same time I put T and T, I end up with the I, which is over here. Noction, shun, vibration says 10. 2, 10, 20, 21. This is 2021. There's many ways to look at this. It also says a noa, which is a bolt. Noata, ration, inside vibration. It says arm, inside vibration. Roman numeral 6 inside vibration, or 22nd and 9th, 31. It is the AC vibration. It shows this over here. What is this over here? The design of this is the O letter. So when I put the O and or the N, do you see the N inside here? I don't know if I drew this properly. I got to get out of this one. I made an error. I put I and I over O because it becomes 9, 15, 9, 15, 24, 24, 48. It creates two minds, because 24 has to be the mind of the sun. 24 equals to 86. It's a transmission, the communication between the dual suns. I forget what I was trying to show here, but I was trying to show the same reality as over here. Is how do we build the Alpha Omega? How did I build this Alpha Omega? Okay, assuming that this, okay, creates my A letter. This creates my Omega. At the same time, it is numbers 5 and number 2. The same thing that the R letter, okay, is made up just by doing this. The R is inside the 2. When you do this, okay, and this looks like the R letter. You get rid of this line because it's with this line. So you just do this, and then this line you just put up to here. That's all they did, is they don't need all of this to do this. So once they designed this here, okay, they no longer needed this one over here because they had it over here. So they take this and they put it together and they just stretch it out over here. So 2 and R is the same thing as 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 is the same thing as 9 and 8, which is a reflection from 5 and 6, creates 9 and 8. Where does it create 9 and 8? Because 1 and 2 both come to 7 and 7, and because 5 and 5 on this cube, the 5 and 5 on this cube, this way and this way, create 9. And the 6 this way and the 6 this way will only create 8. Create 8 and 6. 1 and 2 brings them both 77. 9 and 8 becomes 4 and 5, which is through the sun. 5 and 4, 20, the IT system. There's a calculation that brings them to this number over here, and that is 9 and 4 is 13, 8 and 5 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4 and 4. At the same time, what will 4 and 5 do to 5 and 6? Well, this is 2 moons. 2 moons meaning Mars. 2 moons meaning 16 and 20, 26. It is T to Z. Between 20 and 26 is what this is. This is that combination here. 5 and 5 is 10. 4 and 6 is 10. This is the 10-10 world. When 4 and 5 comes in, this comes into the 10-10 world. This comes into the 13-13. 1 and 3 is 4. 10-4 communication. 10-4 communication of the 100 and 200 CB codes. 1, 2, 3, it all begins at 4. Communication begins with 5 at 6. Brought to you by the ARM, the 6 arm. The IT world is on. No on. 14 and 15, the beginning of pi, right over here. 3.141592. That's what it is. 3.141592. 9, 2. It says, know it. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, catching up. Thank you.